Okay, so a while back, I talked about a fanfiction series I'm kind of co-writing with my good friend Jason Voorhees 2011, and in it we're basically doing like this cool kind of parody slash adaptation of a Marvel event way back in the late '80s, early '90s called Acts of Vengeance. And in that story, if you don't know the story of Acts of Vengeance pretty much had Loki bring together all the major Marvel villains and pretty much said, "Hey, look, here's an idea. How about we mix and match all of our villains together, all of our heroes we fight together. We switch them around, and then we'll fight, and then we'll win. That's how we'll beat them." And this also involved, of course, the Tri-Sentinel and the Cosmic Spider-Man, both really weird ideas. But yeah, this comic, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool idea. You get to see all these other Marvel characters that you've never seen fight before, like Scorpion fighting Alpha Flight, or Wolverine and Tiger Shark, and Juggernaut and Thor. All these characters were fighting, were basically fighting each other. These mix and match matchups that you never saw possible. And yeah, we kind of took this idea. We kind of took the idea of Acts of Vengeance, and we transitioned it to more or less like a loose adaptation, but instead of Marvel characters, we're using multiple cartoon and even one pseudo-anime, I don't know what to call Ruby. Anyway, that's beside the point. But yeah, it's a cartoon version of Acts of Vengeance, where in this version, Bill Cipher has more or less brought together all these villains from different universes, and he said, we're just going to mix and match. We're going to mix and match, and we're going to fight all these. We're going to fight them all. We're going to beat them all. And yeah, that's the story. Now, in total, we have a ton of fights, and I wrote the prologue. It's a little rushed, I will admit, but it's a prologue, so you don't really need much there. I wrote the prologue, and I wrote half the first chapter, which is actually up now, and that's kind of the point. Now, I want everyone to listen very closely to this, and I'm not trying to sound like a dick here, but this is kind of important. Now, since we wrote there are a total of 21 fights altogether. There are going to be a total of 21 fights in these universe, in each story. And rather than, do these breakup stories in each chapter, because that would make each chapter ungodly long, we're going to focus on one fight each, and kind of just starting with one fight, and kind of focus in each chapter a different universe dealing with a different hero dealing with a different villain. So yeah, the problem is we don't know where to start. We really don't know where to start, and yeah, we have no idea where to go with the fights. We don't know which one, because actually it's kind of funny. Jason talked to me and he said, "Hey, listen, we came up with 21 fights. I don't know where to start." So Jason came up with this idea where you guys get to vote on. You guys get to basically vote on who gets to fight who. What chapter you want to see first. Now, the first chapter is kind of like I guess you could say first chapter in a way is, even though we didn't do that intentionally, it's kind of funny, we didn't do this intentionally, but what what we basically did was, it's kind of like we made little pilot chapters. We made little itty bitty pilot chapters for the first chapter. Like, you get to see the entrance of all these villains into different heroes' universes. So here's what we want. What we want you guys to do. This is going to be a voting thing of what fight you want, of what matchup you want to see first in this universe. You guys can, I would say I'm here. I would say what universes, who's fighting who. But I actually want to keep it a secret. I really want to keep it a big secret for you guys in here. So first off, go read that the prologue and first chapter, and then come back here and just say what fight you want to see first. What universe, what hero and villain mashup do you want to see happen first? And yeah, here's the thing. Also, just vote for one. Just please only vote for one. Yeah, because we're going to get, Jason and I are only human beings. We can't do the whole multiple voting thing. So please, after reading through that first chapter, come back here and, read through the prologue and first chapter, and then you guys can come back here and vote on which of the fights you want to, which one of the fights you want to see us do first. Which one do you want us to see done first? But yeah, again, I would say all of them here, but I want to surprise you guys. Jason and I really wanted to surprise everyone. In fact, we basically we told about only 2 other people about what fights we were, because we wanted to keep everyone in the dark of who was fighting who in this big universe, because this is a giant thing. Like I said, there are a total of 21 fights in 21 separate universes going on throughout the multiverse. Yeah, and actually, that's small compared to what we initially wanted. There were tons of other heroes and villains we wanted to use, but Jason and I were like, no, that's too much. And yeah, we settled on 21. Just let that sink in. It was supposed to be more, but yeah, it was supposed to be much more. So yeah. I will say that I think the only thing you can consider anime is... I will say that, yeah, Ruby is in here, but I'm not writing anything to do with Ruby. Because, yeah, it was actually Jason who kind of, he's the one getting into Ruby. He's the one who really got into Ruby. Yeah, I still haven't watched Ruby. Sorry. I didn't mean to shit on your day. But yeah, he's the one, I don't want to say who, that's the only one you're going to know. That's the only one I'm going to tell you. Of course, Gravity Falls is in here, so I guess that's only 2. But I don't want to say who we're going to have fight Ruby, but I will say when you find out who we picked to have go up against the Ruby and the rest of the team of Ruby, you're going to be like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. That's that's the perfect villain to send after, those guys. Yeah. We kind of thought of a few fun matchups. There's a few others, and actually this is the first time, a lot of it is the first time Jason and I have written some of these characters, so we're having a lot of fun with this. Anyway, so once again, just to be clear for everybody, go read that prologue and first chapter, then come back here and vote on which fight you want to see first. Please only vote for one matchup. Please don't do any multiple voting. Gotta say it again. Please no multiple voting. Please only, pick out just one fight you want to see done. Just pick out one fight you want to see done, and yeah, we'll start from there. I don't know if we'll do voting. We'll come back and do voting all the time. That might be a little repetitive, but yeah, I think once we have our first chapter out, the second chapter out with our first full-on fight, and yeah, just because it'll be one chapter doesn't mean that'll be like an open-shut thing. That in no way means it's going to be an open-shut matchup. Like, oh, it's one chapter dedicated to the fight and victory of the hero. No, this is gonna be a giant event, just like Acts of Vengeance was a giant-ass event. So just because we're doing the first chapter on our first matchup doesn't mean that's going to be the end of that matchup. That in no way means it. So, yeah, that just means, hey, this is the first thing you guys want to see us. This is the first fight you want us to see us do, and we'll come back to that in another chapter. But yeah, so yeah, that's kind of the thing. Just I hope you all enjoy it. We spent a lot of time on this. Jason and I spent a lot of time on this. We spent a lot of time planning. We're still planning stuff because again, it's one giant ass event. So we're trying to do as much as we can, have as much fights as we do, and I think we picked some really unique ones. But again, I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. So just go down, just click the link below, go read the prologue and first chapter, and yeah. Give a big shout out for Jason Voorhees 2011. I approached him with the idea, and thank God Jason thought it was a cool enough idea. And yeah, we're going to be co-writing this because no one person can just write this thing. There is no way on God's great earth you could write. No one person could write this. Anyway, so yeah, once again, hope y'all enjoy the story, and hope y'all enjoyed this vid, and I will see you guys later.